Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to week 2 of Walnut Lodge's Foundations Intensive. So this is week 2, day 1. And I want to have a shout out here to Ray Weezer. How are you, Ray? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for saying hi, and I know Joanne is there. Hey, good morning, Joanne. I really miss everybody. So I'm enjoying the intensives in person, but it's only like 10 people, and usually there's a lot more. All right, so we're going to get started. This week is going to build on last week, and we're going to add a little bit more work to shoulders and hips. So I'm starting with the core, with the spine, and then we're kind of working to the periphery of our bodies with a thread that you can follow, hopefully. All right, so I want you to just lay out on your stomach a minute. So for some of us, and I want to do this before we do anything, if you just lay out on your elbows like this and pay attention to your back. I can feel my low back. It doesn't feel that great. I haven't stretched my hip flexors. So, again, the hip flexors, they start in your lumbars. They are attached to the lumbars. They go all the way up to that 12th rib. That's at the beginning of your thoracic vertebrae. And then they go through your pelvis, underneath your guts, across your pubic rim, and attach to the insides of your thighs. And the action is this, all right? It pulls the thighs towards the chest, or the chest towards the thighs. It shortens the distance between your low back and your legs, all right? When you're sitting, that shortens. So if you just hang out here, right now, my hip flexors are pretty tight, but they're not debilitating. So they've released quite a bit, and now I don't feel that pulling. I don't feel that a little bit of an ache in my low back. All right, so this is one area that we're really going to work this week, and then the other area is just the shoulder girdle. So right now we're kind of sagged down. Shoulders are kind of squeezing together. Now if I push down into my elbows and push my spine up through my shoulder blades change position. They move to the sides of my body a little bit more than the back. And then if I release, the shoulder blades squeeze together. So this action is called protraction and retraction of the shoulder blades. And we'll really work on this a little bit later. But just so that you can see that the blades have motion and they connect really the arms to the spine. And the hip flexors are part of the complex that connect the legs to the torso. So we're kind of inching out to those first articulations past the spine. All right, so just press yourself back. Open the knees a little bit. And then just come down into a child pose. Now, if you have tight hip flexors, or if you were experiencing any kind of discomfort in the position we were just in, when you get back to here, maybe it doesn't feel that great right away. So my hands are out here. If you can just plop your head down on the ground, then this is not for you. But for people that get back here and they're going, it doesn't feel that great, you can pull your ribs down towards your waist and then push the ribs forward. So this is something that we worked on last week. This is kind of an exhale. This is pulling the spine into a flexion. This is an inhale, pushing that spine to an extension. And all that's doing is giving you a little bit of mobility in that low back, mid back. And then after a couple of those, you should be able to just come down into a child pose. But if that's still not possible, put your elbows like this and put your forehead on your head. Sorry, put your forehead on your arms. And just feel what the hips are doing. Relax your spine. Breathe into your belly. See if one hip is tighter than the other. Child pose is a powerful pose. And if you've ever hurt your back, you understand how powerful that pose is. All right? Because when you can't do child pose, it kind of brings the reality of it all crashing forward to you. All right, reach your hands forward, come up, and then just hand stretch. I'm going to start the mornings with hand stretch. So your elbows are to the outside. Your fingers are spread nice and wide. My hands are underneath my shoulders. And I'm just going to lean forward and back and feel the restriction at the wrist. Feel where it starts and then where it tapers off and then where it's not a stretch. So just kind of go through those a couple more times. And then push forward to your stretch. So it's not that comfortable, but it's not that bad. We could stay here for a couple minutes if we had to. Your elbows are rotated to the outside. You're pressing the base of the thumb and the index finger in so that you feel that that action is connected to those elbows rotating to the outside. We're just pushing forward a little bit. Couple more breaths here. And remember, if this is really hard for you, this can be done 2 or 3 times a day. You don't have to get down to the floor. You can do it on a table. Now tuck your toes under and squash back. So now the wrists are kind of at a sloping 135-degree angle maybe. This is almost the position for down dog. My toes are tucked under. I'm just relaxing the bottom of my feet. My right foot is tighter than my left. And let's come back up. Now you can slide your hands back a little bit and then lean forward again. Or you could walk your knees up. Just one more today. Lean forward. So you can see my shoulders are going past or kind of at the level of my fingertips. That's all the farther I'm going to go. That's actually all the farther I really need to go. That's the kind of angle that you want. Most of our work can be done at this 90-degree angle of the wrist, but there's some where you have to get a little further forward. It feels really good though in here. There's not much weight on your hands, but still it's a good stretch. Tuck your toes, and I like to push my heels back, come back. Now if you're okay here, come up onto your feet and then wiggle your wrists in this position. One way and the other. Let the thumbs get involved. If you can't sit like this, then hands forward and take the weight off of the feet, and you'll just have to wrist stretch, wiggle, rotate in the next position. One more time. If you're still up here, just keep wiggling. We're almost done with this big toe stretch, the plantar fascia stretch. All right, then we're going to come out of this, extend the feet, and then just sit back. So for some of us, this is no big deal. For others, knees don't bend this much, so you need your bolster. Today we need a bolster or a pillow, and then we need a strap, and then some of you will probably need a block too. If you don't have a bolster, a block is good, and maybe another pillow. All right, so we'll get to those in a bit. Some of us won't need the block. All right. So we're going to just come out of this, stretch the legs forward. And if you're new to this kind of bending, your body always knows what it wants to do after those stretches, you know, and it's usually the opposite. So if your knees are bent, they want to straighten. It's not rocket science. All right, so we're going to take our strap today, and we're going to put it around our thighs. Now, we're not putting the block between our knees today, so we're changing that. But when you bend your knees, you want to have about a fist in between. So you want to be able to push out on that strap and have a fist. If your strap is too loose, then the legs are too far apart, right? So just a fist. All right, and then we're going to roll down onto our backs, starting with the rocks and the bridges, and then adding some stuff today. All right, so just laying flat on your spine. Feel your spine. Are you level, right to left? For those of you that are starting this forward curve in the upper back, just laying on a hard surface starts to decompress that upper back. And for some people, when they're laying here, you know, they can't get their spine all the way straight, and their jaw will go up to, their chin will go up to the ceiling. You know, if it's too bad, you know, you need to put something under it, not a block, but maybe a towel or something. But as you lay here, even people that are, you know, curving forward, your spine will start, you know, flattening out. And that's why we like to just lay here first, to check and see that. You want to be able to lay here flat when you're 100. That's our goal. All right. Now, we're going to add the pelvis to this. So we have no block today, but we're going to push out on the strap, and then we're going to squeeze the knees together. Now, as you push out on the strap, let your pelvis go into an anterior tilt forward. As you squeeze the knees together, feel the posterior tilt, or the top edge of that sacrum pressing into the ground. All right, so just adding on to what we did last week, except it's a little bit more stretch across the hip because we don't have that block. So we're taking those knees together today. Some of you will feel it, some of you won't. All right, so this is inhale, and then as you squeeze, it's exhale. Inhale, push out on the strap, pelvis forward. Exhale, squeeze in, low back press. And inhale, push. Exhale, pull. Inhale, push out on the strap. Exhale, squeeze the knees, pull the low back into the ground. Keep going, own timing. Right? You keep going, and I'm just going to talk about feeling these sit bones. So as you inhale, the sit bones to the tailbone go towards the ground. As you exhale, they start scooping up towards your knees. So we're going to make this a little progressive. So every time you come into this squeeze, see if you can tuck your tailbone up to your knees just a little bit more. So we squeeze, and I'm talking like a 1/4 inch. And again, if you have, you know, tightness, soreness, you feel every little 1/4 inch. You know, if you don't, you're lucky, but still go easy. So keep the breath going. Keep the squeeze going. You might find that the squeeze gets harder, as you keep tucking that tailbone a little higher. Keep going. Inhale out and exhale, pull. And inhale out and exhale, pull. And inhale out and exhale, pull. One more. And inhale out and exhale, pull. Keep your sit bones. Drive the sit bones up towards your knees. Let the knees open. You have the strap. Now push out on the strap. As you push out on the strap, you might feel your pelvis go a little higher, because that strap is kind of accessing the medius muscles, glute medius, so it makes it a little bit easier to push up. All right, now tuck your tailbone under and reach that towards the knees, just like we've done for the last 4 days. Your pubic bone is pulling towards your rib cage. Your sit bones are reaching towards your knees. We're just in a flat line. And breathe. Relax your chest. Your shoulders, your upper back are pressing into the ground. Relax your neck. Keep the sit bones reaching towards your knees. And then remember, if the hamstrings are pulling on the sit bones, then your pelvis gets closer to your knees in the back. And then if your stomach is pulling on your pubic bone, then the front of your pelvis gets closer to your rib cage. So what we're doing is trying to pull that pelvis into an anterior tilt so that we can stretch that low back. Couple more breaths. And of course you can feel your glutes and your hams working. Now, release your mid-back, pull your stomach, and try to make the waist touch before your pelvis. And then release. So after that, you might feel like your low back is a little bit flatter. Now I want you to pull your heels in as close as you can. And then last Thursday, we started adding twists to this. So we're going to inhale and just drop our knees to the right. Let your torso do whatever. I'm going to be rolling a bit. That's the inhale. And then exhale, pull back. Now do one more where you just let everything go. So inhale, let the knees drop. See where that is. Some of your left shoulders will be down on the ground. Exhale, pull. Inhale, still same direction. Let the knees drop to the right. Now try to keep that shoulder down so my knees aren't going all the way down. Exhale, pull center. Inhale, just let them drop. Anchor that shoulder. And pull center. And again, inhale, right, exhale, center, inhale, right. Now we're going to stay here. So let that knee come down. My shoulder's up off the ground about 2 inches now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my breath higher in the ribs. I'm going to breathe up here. And then when I exhale, I'm going to try to let go a little bit. Because of this strap, some of you feel this line stretching quite a bit. But just big inhales into your chest. One more. Inhale. Exhale and pull that left hip back. And then just check the left side of your body against the right side. That left side is probably lower. You feel it's more into the floor. You've let go of some muscles. Because what makes you feel up and out of your stretch is when the muscles are pulling on the bones. And here, it just makes you feel like you're laying on your bones instead of kind of settling into the whole structure. All right, now to the left. First one, inhale over. Let it go. Look how high my shoulder comes off the ground. That's because my waist and all these abdominals are pulling. And then come back to center. Exhale. And then again, inhale. Let the knees drop. Let that come up. Exhale, come back. Inhale. Go. Stay there. Knees are down. Now, see if you could just drop that shoulder. So my restriction or my lack of ability to leave that shoulder on the ground at first has nothing to do with my flexibility. It has to do with a pattern that I've established of constantly pulling my right side into my left. So when I want to go into a stretch, that pattern is there. And then for me to let that go, I just need to stay here and breathe a couple times. And it goes. Now pull the pelvis up. We'll just do a couple more, keeping that right shoulder down. So inhale, go as far as you can without letting that shoulder up. Exhale, pull back. Again. Inhale. Go over. Exhale. Pull back. I don't have my total range of motion yet. Inhale. Over. Exhale. Back. This time we're going to stay there. Inhale over all the way down. Let that left knee press. Feel this stretch going across the top of your hip and into your back. Now just, again, breathe into the ribs. Push them up so that when you exhale, you might feel a little bit more release somewhere that you don't know you're tight. Breathe them up. Couple more. And then pull yourself back to center. Let your back relax. Just a couple nice easy breaths here. Try to feel the ribs going to the sides. Now we're going to go back to that bridge. Take a nice inhale. Exhale. Tuck your tailbone under and then push it up. Now, you have to pay attention to this. So your sit bones are pressing into the backs of your legs. You're pushing out on your strap. You get a little bit higher. Now, if that hurts your back, you have to stay here. You just have to stay in this position and not ever go any higher until it doesn't hurt. But if you can push a little bit higher, then push a little higher. So it's this going up, but you're still feeling the sit bones go towards your knees. Keep pressing out on the strap and extend that right leg out and come in and go out and come in and go out and come in and go out and come in and out, in and out, in. Keep pushing up, out, in, and out. Holding a little longer. Push out, stay, and down. Push out, stay, keep pushing up, and down. Push out, stay, feel your hamstrings, and down. Push out, stay, and stop. Wiggle your feet forward just a little bit. Dig the heels. They have to be, your knees have to be at a 90 or greater. Tuck the heels and pull your heels towards your sit bones. And you should feel this and your hamstrings really work there. Breathe. And then release. Upper back. Tuck under. Try to feel waist hit before your sacrum. Let the back relax. And then pull your knees in and let yourself rock side to side. If you can't, grab a hold of your knees, grab a hold of that strap. Just rocking side to side. And then stretch the legs to straight. Grab the backs of the legs or your strap. Feel your hamstrings. One hamstring might be weaker than the other. And so when we're doing that little marching exercise and then the holds, you know, sometimes those hamstrings will cramp. Because that's a lot of work, you know, when we're on two legs, each leg bears half of the weight. When you go to one leg, you know, it automatically switches to twice as much work, which sometimes is a little much, but there's really no way around that. That's why I just did the marching today. I had some of you say that your hamstrings really super cramped. So pull those in just a little bit more. And then bend the knees. And put the feet back down. Wiggle them out. So we're going to do one more of those. Tuck the tailbone under and press up. Push out on your strap. Feel that low back lengthen. And right leg out, hold. Maybe it's a little bit easier. Keep pushing up and down and out. Push up and down and out. Push up and down and out. Push up and down and out. Stay. Couple more. Keep feeling that left sit bone pushing up. Keep your pelvis level if you can. And come down. And left leg push out. And come down. Roll through. Waist hits before your sacrum if you can manage that. And pull the knees in. Stretch them long. Again, just hold. Just let them lengthen. Now, let go. Keep your back on the ground. And then just pull the legs, release the legs. Pull, release. See if you can feel the work here. Your stomach is working just to maintain the pelvis position, but as you add the legs here, you should be able to feel the hip flexors just pulling. Now, some of you can't hold your legs up here, so you might be out here, and you can still feel it. Try to keep that low back on the ground. We're just doing this kind of as an exploratory, because what we're going to do next is just work these hip flexors a little bit more. So I want you to bend your knees and see if you could just rock yourself up. And if you can't, then just come up to sitting. All right, so my knees are going to be out at this angle. I'm going to grab a hold of my knees or my strap, and I'm going to lean back. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make a 90-degree angle at my hip with my back. Let's see. All right, so I'm trying not to curve my pelvis down. I'm trying to keep my pelvis forward, pushing into my thighs, right? Now, hold on to your knees or hold on to your strap, and then pull your pelvis towards the ground. Feel yourself go into a curve. Starting with the pelvis, push it forward, and then feel that curve flatten out. I'm going to turn just a little bit. I hate talking to the side. So we're going to do it again. So we're going to pull and push up and pull. Reach your low back. And as you push up, feel your pelvis pulling into your thighs. And push and pull. One more. And push back and pull. Now lean back. Take your feet off the ground. Keep your thighs pulling in to your pelvis and let go. So we're going to breathe. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You can feel that work on the insides of the hips. And 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Come up, let the legs go long, and then just hang over. Just let the whole torso go. You can drop your head. It's not really a big forward bend. It's just let that go. We're going to do just one more. So that was working the hip flexors. Roll yourself up. And we're going to do that one more time. Just pull in. Hands on your knees. Push your pelvis into your thighs. Let yourself lean back. Roll your shoulders, trying to get as flat of a back as you can. Now just come up off the ground. Just barely. Keep pushing your pelvis. Now if you can't let go, just keep holding and stay here. We're doing 10 breaths. And breathe 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, keep pulling them, and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. This time just put your feet down. All right? Now, take your low back and push it towards the ground. Hold on to your strap if you need. And then go another couple inches. Keep the spine curved. Curl your upper back. So we're inhaling kind of up the back. Exhale, pull your ribs. Right? A little bit more. A little bit more. You feel your abdominals starting to work, right? A little bit more. Less hip flexors, more abdominals. A little bit more. A little bit more low back touches. Feel your upper body and release. Breathe here. So the work that we have been doing with the abdominals really is we're learning how to isolate the abdominals from the hip flexors and then how to use both. So kind of just tagging on to that, we're going to do just one of what we did last week. So pull the knees in, rock it a little bit. Now squash them in with your hands. Take your pubic bone, pull your pubic bone to your spine so you feel your whole pelvis do this. In. Your arms are holding your thighs. Let go. Keep holding your thighs. Keep pulling the pubic bone to your ribs. Feel that hip flexor work, and you could probably feel it better today because of what we just did. Keep your stomach and let the knees drift over your sockets. Keep this pulling down. All right? Now, as we breathe, you feel the ribs, you feel the pubic bone. This line is coming together, but you really want to feel the pubic bone going into the waist so that your low back constantly presses into the ground and you feel that posterior tilt. Now, if you want, let your knees go a little further forward. Keep working that stomach. Right now, our legs are just kind of hanging out here. Our hip flexors are attaching our legs to our spine, but the work is really in the abdominals because the line of load from the legs is transferred to the waist, to the lumbars, and now our pubic bone has to work really hard to maintain position. So really the work of the stomach now is holding the legs up. Couple more breaths. And if you want to test that idea, just let your back come up off the ground. Feel it arch. Now all of a sudden, no more stomach work. Right? Pull it back onto the ground. Push it in. Couple more breaths. Now stretch those legs to straight if you can. Push out on your strap. Tuck your tailbone under. Reach that low back into the ground. Breathe. And bend the knees, pull them in, unstrap yourself. And now, just let your right leg go to the side and come up. And left leg go to the side and come up. And right leg and come up and left leg. We're going to keep doing this. I want you to feel that pull across your hip socket. Can you feel that open? That's the hip flexors going on a little teeny weeny bit of a stretch, but so the inner thighs, help the hip flexor. So just try to let that go. My back comes off the ground. Try to keep it on the ground. Just let that line open. Pull it up. And again, right leg open. Pull it up. One more time. Left leg open. Pull it up. Now roll to your right side, and then we're going to roll onto our stomachs. And I'm going to get a drink. All right. So just going into a regular cobra, not using the arms. I'm sure that your backs might be a little bit tighter than they were last Thursday, unless you did some work over the weekend. So starting here, press your feet, pull your quads, drive your sit bones, press your pubic bone, lift your stomach, and then shoulder blades back, reach your chest forward. And we're just going to inhale, exhale. Inhale, pull the shoulder blades down. Exhale, just kind of release them. Inhale, exhale, pull your pubic bone up. Every time you exhale, you're trying to take your sit bones and push them into the backs of your legs, as if we were doing that bridge on our bellies. Up. Up. Inhale. Inhale. Inhale up. Keep the feet on the ground. Inhale up. Keep pressing the feet. Keep driving the sit bones. Inhale up. Inhale up. Inhale up. Inhale up. 2 more. Inhale up. 1 more. Inhale up and release. Rolling over, grabbing that bolster. So coming up to sitting. Last week we did this with a block. Put that bolster right up against your spine and then lay over it. Now at first my head does not touch. If you don't like that, you can put a block underneath your head. If you don't have a bolster, going back to the block is fine. So try to stretch the legs out, feel your ribs, relax. And inhale, push the ribs to the ceiling. You can feel the extensors work. You can feel them a little lower because the bolster is, underneath your waist. So you can feel the tips of your shoulder blades. Just a couple more here. Let this line open. Then take your arms up. Now, pull the shoulder blades straight down towards the floor and then push them up to the ceiling. Pull them down and push them up. Pull them down, push them up. We did this at the beginning of class on our elbows. Pull them down, retract them, push them up, protraction. So the shoulder blades are working closer together and then spreading to the sides of the ribs. Couple more. Closer together, spreading to the sides of the ribs. 1 more. Closer together, spreading to the sides of the ribs. Now, reach your arms over. Keep the elbows straight. Couple big breaths into your chest. Maybe they'll get there in a couple more, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to add elevation, depression of the shoulder girdle to this. So what does that mean? Inhale. Push the shoulders into your ears. Extend the arms away from you. And then exhale, pull them back. And reach them out. And pull them back. All right. Reach them out. And pull them back. Reach them out. Now, inhale, pull them back. Lift the chest up. Exhale, push. You can feel your stomach work a little bit. Inhale, pull. Exhale, push. Inhale, feel the shoulder blades go into the bolster. And push. And pull. And push. And pull. Feel your back work. And push. You can really feel the upper back right here. Inhale, pull the blades down. Feel your upper back. Ribs go up. Exhale. Try to pull your stomach a bit as your arms reach. Inhale. Pull. Exhale. Stomach. 2 more. Inhale. Feel the upper back. Exhale. Stomach. Last one. Inhale. Upper back. Exhale. Stomach. Let them go. Breathe the ribs up. And then roll onto your right side. And then we're going to just go right back to our belly. So move that bolster, wiggle around onto your stomach. Actually, I'm sorry. Don't do that. I just remembered I added this. We're going to come up onto our legs. So if you can't sit like this, either use your block or your bolster. So you would just put that under here. If you're using your block, we're not going to be here that long. If you're going to use your bolster, you're going to take your bolster and you're going to put it on your calves. And sit back. So here on your block or just on your feet. All right, I'm just going to stay here since I'm here. And we're going to do the same thing that we just did on the bolster sitting with our arms, just to feel the shoulder girdle. So interlace your fingers, shoulder blades down, aim your hands straight out in front of your chest. Pull the shoulder blades back and then push. Maybe I turn sideways for this one. Yep, so pull the shoulder blades back and then push. Inhale, chest forward, blades back. Exhale, push. You can curve. Inhale, pull them back. Exhale, push. The shoulder blades are going together as you inhale. On the exhale, they're sliding to the side. Inhale, they're going together. Exhale, they're sliding to the side. Your chest is going forward. You're kind of in an arch. You're extending. Exhale, you curl down. You're in a C curve. You're in a flexion. Inhale, extend the chest. Exhale, flex the spine. Inhale, pull chest forward. Exhale, pull it back. Couple more. Inhale, pull and chest. Exhale, out and reach. Inhale, pull. Exhale, reach. Last one. Inhale, pull. Exhale, curve. Put that down. Come up to vertical. Now feel the shoulder blades. Lift the chest up, right? Breathe. Once this all works to a good place, then this lifted chest is not any work. My shoulder blades are just dropping down. It feels good. All right, now we're going to do the second action. I'm going to turn forward for this one. And maybe just sit down. All right, so take your arms up. Now, for some of us, having our arms by our ears is a challenge. This arm position is related more to your chest than your shoulders, but it is related to both. So push your chest forward, right? So we're going to inhale, pull the shoulder blades down as the chest goes forward. Exhale, push up to your ears. Inhale, pull down. Exhale, push. Depress the shoulder blades and elevate. And depress the shoulder blades and lift them up. And they go as far away from the ears as you can, and then you try to put them on your earlobes. Now we're going to inhale as the shoulder goes back and exhale as it goes up. And inhale, chest forward, arch, and exhale, maybe a little bit of curl. And inhale, look up at your hands, and exhale, look down at your legs, curl your back. And inhale, you go up, and exhale, you pull. And inhale, you go up, and exhale, you pull. Two more, and inhale, you go up, and exhale, you pull. Last one. Inhale, you go up, and exhale, and release. Let the arms drop out. For some of you, that is a lot of work. We're going to do that one more time. I'm going to turn sideways, and we're going to put a little bit more torso into it. All right? Now, this particular thing that we're doing, I use it all the time. And so what you're trying to link up is the breath, the spine, and the shoulder blade position. All right, so again, interlace, pull your arms back by your ears. And again, if you have a curved upper back, then you're not going to get them probably past here. So do what you can, but take that chest, push it forward, pull the arms back. All right? So we're going to inhale first. That means look up. Inhale. Up. Shoulder blades down. Exhale. Shoulder blades to your ear. Look down. Curve your back. And inhale up. Exhale. Curve. Inhale. Pelvis forward. Exhale. Pelvis back. Inhale. Anterior tilt. Exhale. Posterior tilt. Inhale up. Exhale. Pull your stomach again. Inhale up. And exhale. Pull your stomach. Two more. Inhale up. And exhale. Pull your stomach. Last one. Inhale up. And exhale. Arms down. Sit. That's a lot of work, right? But we're trying to build these patterns. All right. Coming out onto your stomach for one last thing. So you're up on your elbows. Let your back go. Like right now, my back feels good, right? I don't feel any restriction at all. So we're gonna just finish this by repeating just one round of the neck stretches that we did last week. So you can have your hand on your have your head on the heels of your hands, or make a fist and put your chin, I think I said something else to tell you the truth, chin on the fist, right? Walk the elbows a little forward. Now, relax your neck. When you inhale, just feel your ribs go towards your arms. And when you exhale, don't do anything but let go. Inhale, let go. Keep going. One more big inhale. Let it go. Now, pull the elbows back a little bit. Drop your head. Drop. Relax the shoulders. Just let everything go to the ground. Right. Pressing back. Just a little child pose. And remember, start here. Relax. And then just easy pull the ribs back. Reach them forward, just let that back adjust, and then over you go. Head here or here, breathe. And rolling up. So I'm going to start you with 2 alternate nostril breathings, and then you're going to keep going for the next 5 minutes if you want. If not, just sit quietly and then we'll be done, right? Thumb over the right nostril. And we inhale through the left. Close off the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close off the right. Exhale through the left. One more. Inhale. Close off the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale right. Close that off. Exhale through the left. Keep going for 5 minutes. Nice and slow. Big deep breaths. Keeping the pace even. And I will see you all tomorrow. Namaste.